So our first year took over what was a legacy. We were awarded a 30-year contract by the Niagara Parks Commission. We were challenged in that we were standing up a brand new business. We put through 1.6 million passengers. It was a wonderful year. We started late because there was a lot of ice in the river, and grew the business to what we'll finish off at about 2.4 million passengers this year.
Yeah, I think Hornblower Niagara Cruises relationship began with Scania in around 2012 when we were, looking at the design of our two new 700 passenger catamarans. There were other Hornblower ports that were already using Scania engines, and based on their recommendations, Scania was ultimately the engine provider chosen for the project.
We have a pretty unique space that we work in down here. There's a lot of people that we put through every day. We ask a lot of the engines, and it's a very specific waterway in that we really need to put a focus on maneuverability. They're tight quarters, and we don't want to get stuck in a difficult position. These boats have delivered very well with the engines that they have now.
In terms of a provider, certainly the quality of the product for one, the reliability, efficiency, as well as local support in terms of parts availability, service, that kind of stuff.
So we do run long days. Once we start our busy season for the summer, the boats don't get a day off. Our first boat leaves at 8:30 in the morning and doesn't stop until 10:30 at night. And as such, we really needed vessels that were going to be very reliable for us. Downtime for us is a really big deal, and they've delivered very well on that.
Yeah, so we've got two 700 passenger 360-degree open deck viewing catamarans. It's really purpose built for this operation. We sail approximately 48 times a day into the Horseshoe and carry about almost 2.5 million passengers a year. So the catamarans were purpose built just for that. But yeah, they're identical vessels, virtually identical. We've created some enhancements along the way as we learn how to grow the business and how to cater to the needs of our guests. So they're really optimally designed for this particular environment. What we're finding is we're always achieving or surpassing our own benchmark that we set for ourselves. As part of our own ISO certification, we try and improve every year. A big part of that is the experience on the vessel. That's why they're here, to see the falls. And how they see the falls, that experience has clearly surpassed their expectations with the volume of positive comments that we've had.
So another important factor for us is to make sure that everyone's able to hear on deck. We have an automated announcement system, both for safety and for information for the guests. And of course, we wouldn't want the engines overpowering that. We really haven't had a problem with that. It's been great with these engines. The loudest noise we get on deck is actually from the fans pushing air down into the engine room.
Catamaran will run up to the falls. Well, between the two boats, we do about 48 trips a day. So it's a fairly busy schedule. First boat leaves at 8:30 in the morning, and the last boat doesn't tie up till finishes about 10:30 at night. So it's a very demanding schedule on the boats. Also, when with Scania, when selecting power plants for our 150 passenger jet boat, and more recently with our new site backup generator.
We embarked on a project to build a funicular railway along with a new utility corridor that services the entire lower landing. So part of that was to have a backup generator as a secondary means of propulsion for the funicular. Thereby, if in the event that there's a power failure, we can still operate down here and get people in and out safely. So it isn't really a backup, it's really a secondary propulsion system. And in doing so, we wanted to find something that could provide power for the funicular, but also the ancillary services to be able to still scan tickets and have certain lights on and not power the entire lower landing, but have enough so that we can still operate. And it just made sense to select equipment that matched what we already had. It lended itself to economies of scale. Well, we continue to still enjoy growth in the market. Tourism's been fantastic. The exchange rate, weather plays a big part in what we do, and the last 4 or 5 years has been spectacular in terms of growth, and we don't see that slowing down in the near future. We think we're going to be coming out with other more interesting products that are complementary to what we do, and we enjoy the process of rolling those out and bringing those folks that visit the Niagara Falls area a greater experience.
Hornblower is really happy to have been working with Scania. We've had a great experience so far. Like I said, we ask a lot of these boats, and the Scania engines have delivered very well on that.